Hello there everyone, my name is Crazy Caleb, and today we're going to be taking a look at triple traversal. So this is the way the module looks, and what we're essentially going to be doing is we're going to be going through 3 different mazes all at the same time, and I'll get into what we have to do with this module. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to essentially be trying to figure out where we are in each maze, because they're not going to be essentially in the exact same position in each maze. So how exactly do we do that? So as we can see, we have a little minus up in the top left here, and what this essentially means is that we are free to roam the maze without, with running into walls has no consequence. We won't get a strike from running into walls, and that's essentially how we're going to figure out which part of the maze we're in, with each individual maze. So, how exactly do we do that, though? So the walls will be either black, dark gray, light gray, or white, and representing 0, 1, 2, 3 respectively for each different maze that have a wall in that direction. So as we can see here, along this little border here, if we go around the maze, we can see how this looks. Now, so in this case, taking a look at this example, we have three walls in our up direction from the current position that we're at. And along the borders here, we have the left, down, and right. That is currently going to be black. That is going to be representing 0 walls around in that position. This actually is a really good starting point for us, because what this means is that we only have to look in each of the mazes for something like, give me an example, please. We only have to look for something like this right here. So for example, and one thing that doesn't mention in the manual that I should note, as of this time, it doesn't mention that the walls surrounding the border do have walls around them. They cannot loop around, but essentially what you can do is you can loop around in the maze when you're in like sort of like the finding mode before you enter into this disarming mode. So the walls do have the edges of the maze do have walls around them, as it doesn't state that in the module as of this time, like I said. But keep in mind that essentially what we're going to have to do is, taking a look at this example, we can't have anything other than up potentially up here. So for example, we could have something like this too in maze B. This Charlie 1 right here only has one maze at the top right here. So generally what I tend to do is I tend to try and figure out in which position all of these mazes are. So we know for a fact that there is going to be, all 3 mazes currently have 0 walls in our current position on the left, down, and right positions, and they all have a wall up top here. This is going to be really good for us because we can actually deduce this into a lot of options. So let's try and figure it out. So let's take a look. That doesn't work because it has the one on the right. And this is actually a really interesting case, because this actually is very, very specific. There's not multiple examples I can give to you. We need to simply figure this out on our own. Perhaps we can start up in the top left here? No, that won't work because of the fact that there will be a wall on the left. That does not make sense. Let's take a look here. But they will always be the exact same thing. The walls being black, dark gray, light gray, and white. They will always be exactly 0, 1, 2, 3, respectively. So that's the way that this is going to work. So let's try and figure it out. And essentially what our goal is our goal is to find our starting position in each of the mazes, and once we figure out our exact position of where we're at, we don't have to go back to the starting position of which we started at. We just simply need to start the maze up from our current position, and that will start the maze, and we're essentially going to try and figure out which maze we're currently at by this displaying one of the letters being A, B, or C to determine which maze we're navigating through. And what we need to do is we need to essentially navigate to the middle of the maze while keeping track of the other 2 mazes that we haven't navigated through to essentially keep track of where we navigate from next. So let's keep looking. So this is also a potential position right here. This being up. But essentially what you want to do is you want to find clues like these. Clues like these will really, really help you in the long run, because you want to note down the potential options of which you can be looking at here, and then sort of move around to find some more of these white ones. Oh, that's really, really helpful for us. If we move to the right, immediately to the right, this is actually like one of the luckiest examples you can get right here. If we move to the right, we're going to have nothing on the left, as that makes sense, according to the maze. It's not moving around, it's not doing any transformations, it's simply moving to the right, one space. We're going to have 3 walls in each of the individual mazes to the up, right, and down. This is actually a really perfect example. It's much better than something like this, where we have dark grays up here, which could potentially be, for example, so all 3 of them, all 3 walls will be on the left in all 3 mazes, but there could be, for example, something like each individual wall, so up could be in Alpha, right could be in Bravo, and down could be in Charlie, for example. we don't know exactly where exactly we would be at. So these whites and blacks are essentially going to be our key to figure out sort of our better starting position, for example. We actually got really lucky, and I have a hunch that this pretty much is the position in Maze A. Um, just because of the fact that there is up here, we have the up in this position, which represent up, and there's nothing to the left, right, or down. And if we move to the right, that will take us to walls being in the up, right, and down position. So I believe we have the current position for Maze A right here. Now, if we keep looking, same thing with Maze B. If we move to the right here, there will only be one wall to the right because that is the edge of the maze. However, there's nothing up and down, so this means that this is not the case. If we look at up here, though, at Charlie 1, if we move to the right, the edge of the maze is up, and we have walls to the right and down as well. So this is going to be our current position right here. Now, for Maze C, we haven't really found our starting point, but we should be able to do that pretty easily considering our circumstances. So let's keep looking. We need to find that singular up, and then we need to find that corner piece, which is essentially that up, right, and down. That's going to be really helpful for us. Oh, right here. Perfect. We have the up right here in this current position right now, and we move to the right, and we have the up and down, and we have the right being the edge of the maze. So now, I believe we have our current starting position. So let's say we were to start here. So we're essentially going to be starting in this position where we have the mazes being up, right, and down. And once we hit the starting position on this little cube here to start the maze, we're going to get a letter up top, and it's still going to keep us in the exact same position. It isn't going to send us back to where we started from in our initial positions of the maze. It's simply going to start where we previously left off, essentially. So now we're in Maze A. So what we need to do is we need to navigate to the middle while keeping track of everything else that we need to while keeping track of all of our movements in the other two mazes. So to get to Maze A, and this is only going to focus on these walls individually. If we happen to run into another wall, for example, in one of the other mazes, for example, it simply doesn't care. All we need to make sure is we don't hit any walls in Maze A. So now we're going to go left, down, down. And now since we're at the center, that's where we need to be, let's hit the center one. And now we're going to get another letter, for example. It isn't always going to be an ABC order. It could be something random. It could be A, it could be C, it could be B. It could start with B, for example. But it always will be random. So now what we need to do is we apply the transformation of left, down, down. We need to do that to each of these individual positions. So now we're currently at this position for Maze B. And now left, down, down will take me here for Maze C. Now for Maze C, we need to go up, up, left, left. So up, up, left, left. So currently at the middle now. Now we're at Bravo, so now we need to keep track of the movements that we did. So we need to go for Bravo, up, up, left, up. And it loops around left. So now we're currently at the bottom left here. So up, left, to the bottom left. And now, all we simply need to do is we need to focus on Maze B at this point. So we need to go right, right, up, right to the center. And just like that is a solved module. And for those of you who do know what that nostalgic sound is, that solved sound, that is Space Junk Road from Super Mario Galaxy, one of my favorite all-time themes. It's just the best. So this is a really cool module. Let's take a look at one more example because we actually got really, really lucky with that. That was a really nice example. But essentially what your goal is your goal to figure out some good positions. The whites are really, really helpful along with the blacks. Help you figure out where your walls are in the maze, and then we can work from there. Sort of deduction process of how we can get each of the individual walls. But essentially, try and avoid getting dark gray and light gray spots as much as possible because those are the ones of which you have to that could be in any of these possible mazes and really doesn't help you all that much. So let's do one more example. This module is pretty straightforward, but it's a little bit tricky, and it can be definitely finding a needle in a haystack sometimes, depending on how lucky you are. Just to make sure I am recording. I am indeed. That's perfect.
There is only one
So let's look around. So yeah, so for example, we would start in this initial position, but it doesn't care about that. It only cares about the position of which you enter in when you press this middle button, and it will stay in that exact same position. So we can simply go around all over the place as we please, and we shall be good to go. So, ooh, here's a good position. So we're gonna have walls on the left and up, in all three mazes, and we're going to have no walls on the right in all three mazes. That's going to be a good one, so we can start there. So now what we go through is we go through each of the individual mazes. So we have left and up, no on the right. I'm not going to care about this dark gray for right now because that's not my concern. That's not really what I'm after. I'm after looking for left and up in all three mazes and right in none of them. So that's what we're after. This position works. Let's keep looking. This one doesn't work because we have a wall on the right when we shouldn't. Left and up and right. Nope, that does not work. Nope, there's no up. This one's playing hard to get. Right here, for example, here's another one that works. Right here. Right here works. Right here works. I think that's it for this maze. So let's go to the next one. So left, up, down, that could work. As long as we don't have any rights, no right walls, that's all we care about right now. Left up, that works right there. Left up, right here. That does not work. That's the edge of the maze. There's going to be a right wall there. Right there, that works. Right there. That does not work. I think that's pretty much it that I can get from this. I guess the bottom left too. That will be the case right here. And I think that's it for this condition. Let's keep looking at this now at maze C. So top left corner, of course. Bottom left corner also works here. A very tricky one. That right here, that works. Right there, that works potentially. This one definitely looks significantly less than the others, that's for sure. I think that might be it, potentially. That's looking like that's it, yeah. Okay, so now that we have all the possibilities highlighted in each of the individual mazes, as we can see, we have every position has a left up wall, including the edges, including the outer parts of the maze. Left up. So if we, for example, move right, we have a free wall. That's perfect for us. So now essentially what we want to do is we want to try and figure out, let's try and find another white spot and see if we can figure out anything that will help us. And immediately, taking a look here, if we move down, down, there is a left wall on each individual spot for each of those downs. It's a guaranteed wall for each of them. So we have to move down, down twice and make sure that there is a wall connected to them. And note that when we get to that second down, there will also be a right wall available for us. So for example, if we take a look at base A right here, we're going to move down, down. That's perfect for there being a left wall in each of them. However, once we reach our destination, there is a wall on the right, which does not make sense, which is not what we want. So that's going to be a pass. This one is going to be not the example that we're looking for. So down, down. This does not have a wall on the left, so that's not it. This does not have a wall, that's not it. Down, down. It does not have a wall when we get to the end down there, so that's not it. This does not, so we missed something else here in this maze, because every single one of them did not follow those rules. So we need to keep looking. Down, down, that's strange, interesting. Oh, I believe we missed right here, perhaps. No, that still doesn't work, as we can go down, it takes me there, but that doesn't work. Interesting. But for now, let's look at the other two mazes. Let's see if we can figure out anything. So we go down, and then down. This example works right here. This is a possibility, because we have the edge piece right here. And that works because we have left, left, and nothing on the right when we get to that second, when we go past that second down. So this is a possibility right here. We'll leave that open. Down, that immediately does not work. Down, that immediately does that does not work. Down, immediately, that does not work. down, and down. This is a possibility right here. However, it's immediately canceled out because of the fact that there is a wall on the right when we get to that second down. Then we go down, down. That's also a possibility. So we still have these two corner pieces that are possible here. So we don't know quite exactly yet. This actually gives me reason to believe that this is actually the corner piece for one of these. I have reason to believe that we're on the corner. Just because of how these things are working out for me. So let's take a look. If we go down, interesting. So we actually could be right here instead. So let's try this. So if we go up, if we go down, and if we go down, that does not work right there. That does not make sense. If we go down, down. Anyways, let's come back to this one. So we could be on an edge piece because of the fact that if we keep going down, there's always going to be a maze. There's going to be always going to be a wall on the left. That's fair reason to believe we could be on the edge of each of these individual mazes. So we just need to figure out where exactly we are for each of them. So down, down. That's immediately not true, so that's going to be good. We start up at this top left one. We go down. Potential of a wall, that makes sense. If we go down, none to the right, that makes sense. Down, still left. Down, nothing below it. That's a strange case. So that immediately makes me believe that this guy up here, the downs that we just did, does not make sense. It is not this position, so it's going to be one of these positions here. So let's maybe start at the bottom left here. So if we go down, then to the top left, then down, then another down, that makes sense. Down, down, this one does make sense. And if we go back down, we should be in the bottom left. So yes, so this is currently where we're at right now, based off of this position in Maze Charlie. So we're currently on the bottom left position right down here, so that makes sense. Now for Maze B, let's figure out exactly which position we're in right now. Which I have a hunch, and I believe that we're currently in the bottom left. So if we go up, for example, still have something to the left, but there's nothing up top. That makes sense. Whereas with this one, if we were to go up from this current position, it would take us to this wall. So I actually believe we're in the bottom left here as well. Interesting. Top left, currently at this position, there is potential of a wall. There is no wall here. That makes sense. Okay. Down to here, there is the potential of a wall right there. That's perfect. Down, there is no position right there. So yeah, so this is another bottom left position, definitely. We're currently at this position right here, and the way that we know this is because we have a wall guaranteed to the left, which makes sense, and we have no wall right below us, which makes sense right here. So we're definitely in the bottom left for this position. So now, let's figure out where we're at in Maze A, because this gives me reason to believe that we're definitely on the bottom left here. Of course, there is also the possibility that we could be in another position. We just have to keep that in mind. We could be right here, for example. Let's maybe give that a try. That immediately does not work. Okay, cool. It can't be here either because that doesn't make sense. We're gonna go back up. That does not work because we can't go to the right. It could be here, for example. If we were to go down, that already does not make sense. Cool. So we were to go from the bottom left to the top left. Okay. And go down once. Right there. Okay, the potential of a wall. There's also the potential of not having a wall. And it kind of falls flat on its face right here. That does not make sense for me. We could be starting from here, for example. So if we were to go to this one right here, for example, we were to go down, there is no wall, down, potential of a wall, yep, down, okay, potential of a wall here, because we're not oriented the same way as we were with the bottom lifts here. If we were to go down, okay, potential of top left and left here. If we were to go down one more, we have an open spot right here. That makes sense. And if we go down here, potential of walls open at the top. That makes sense. And if we go back down, we're back up in this position. This makes sense. And the way that we can confirm this... Oh, no, wait, hold on. We actually can't confirm that. Because of the fact that all of these current positions, if they were in the bottom left, what we would have to do is this would be a light gray. This would be a light gray right here as we can see it. What this means is that all three of them, only two of them should have walls above them. However, all three of them have walls above them, unfortunately. So we need to figure out where exactly we're currently at with maze A. I believe it's maze A that we're left with right now. So we need to figure out where exactly we're at with this one. So if we go, for example, to the right, um, ooh, okay, good. So we could do something like this. That's actually really helpful for us. That makes sense. Okay. Let's stick to the left right now. Let's go up maybe. Uh, this is a weird one. I want to believe it's these guys right here. Quite frankly, all of them make sense. I might be missing something here. If they were in the top left here, let's try something like this. There's only one down position, that makes sense. We go down here. One to the right, one up, two down. That's where that kind of messes up. So we're actually in the wrong position. So bottom left and bottom left. Okay, let's keep it that way. So yeah, so we're in the wrong position in maze A. We happen to get really coincidental with that, but we need to look. We need to look elsewhere. Either that, or we're just having the wrong offset. That could also be a possibility. Or I could be a dum-dum, who knows? Yeah, no, I'm not a dum-dum. Okay, so that's definitely right. It's also could be perhaps us looking at the wrong position for maze B or C, perhaps. So let's continue looking. Because I have a hunch. I feel like it's definitely got to be this. If we were to go down, if we were to go up, for example. No, it can't be there. Because if we go up, we need something that's not on the right. That has a wall to the right. So it has to be something else. Hmm. Let me get back to you on this. I will come back to this because this is taking a little bit while. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to come back and I'm going to find it because this is taking me a lot longer than it should be. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I found my error actually. It was actually what it was it was maze B that was wrong actually because of the fact that both of them were not in the bottom left. I forgot to consider this option right here being the left and the down, and there's also the possibility of it not being to the right. So I actually got to forget to consider that as well. So that is my fault on that. And if we go down, all of them happen to be true in this case scenario, which is going to be right here. We have the top and the left making the walls in maze C, top and left making the walls here, top and left. And if we take a look at Maze B covers our dark gray wall at the bottom here, so this means that we're currently in the correct position. I'm apologizing for that. I was off by one singular space. Maze A was right the entire time, but Maze B was not. So this is kind of the trickiest part of this module, is especially with cases like this one. It can be a bit tricky to try and figure out your exact position, but we actually got lucky to know that it was on the left side based on all these different positions, having a left wall. So that actually is quite helpful. So I guess that is actually another way that you could potentially do this, is just find an edge, and then just try and see if you can go down it and get you examples here. But of course, this will not always work because of the fact that they're always going to be randomly placed. So just keep that in mind. But in this case, we got really, really lucky with this example. So let's go back down to the bottom position which we were at, right here. Let's set ourselves back up, and let's put ourselves right here. So now, let's get this maze going. So we're currently going to be in, what are we going to get? We're going to get maze C first. So we're going to go, okay, a bit of ways. So we're going to go right, 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 up, 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 left. So right, 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 up, up, left. Hit it. Right, 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 up, 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 left. So right, right. So we're going to not ignore maze C, but we're going to do For maze B, right, 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 up, 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 left, right here. So that's where we're gonna end up. And then for maze A, we're gonna go right, 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 up, 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 left. So right there. Now for maze B, we're gonna at this position. So what we need to do is go down, like so. That's good. So now all we're gonna do is go down to maze A, and we're gonna ignore maze B and C. So now we're gonna just go down, down, and just like that is a solved module. As always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to stay crazy, stay cool, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.